All right, I'll be honest in saying I was a little confused on why he was so high in a lot of the mock drafts that I've seen. But after further looking into it, maybe he does deserve that 6, 7 spot that I've been seeing continuously. So we're going to talk about him because I really like this prospect.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
All right, so we got a lot of players to get through. I think thus far we only have, 6 or 7 in the books. So, yeah, we got a whole first round and second round to get to, guys. But we're going to go ahead and go with Gradey Dick. That's the next person we'll be talking about. So, as I always do, we'll look at his stats, and then I'll give you my overall thoughts about him from what I've seen, and then we'll see what the professionals have to say about it. Scouting live. I do not see Scouting live beforehand. This will be my first time seeing what they have to say, and then I'll see if I agree or disagree or if anything that I missed. So diving straight into the stats, statistic wise, pretty doggone good. I'm not gonna lie to you. So 6'8", 205 pounds. He's a pretty lengthy player. He has pretty long arms, so that's really gonna help him. But overall, you can see here 14 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, 1.7 assists per game on 44.2 field goal percentage. And the one thing that you really want to look at is his 3-point shooting, because that's kind of the selling point right now as far as a lot of articles talking about him. And the 3-point shooting is a really good 40%. And you can see here from his free throw percentage, it's 85.4%. So that insinuates that, yes, he is a really good shooter, but you didn't have to see his free throws just for that, okay? Very high upside when it comes to his shooting. But overall, if there's anything that stands out, not really as far as anything that's like a red flag. But I will say this, there's a few games in here where I'm like, wow, that's really impressive for a guard to get that amount of rebounds. As you can see here, he has a game in which he had 7, 11, 8. You go further or earlier in the season, he had a span where it was 7, 6, 7, 9, 8. Pretty good. So he is doing the dirty work. So I know a lot of people are just going to say, oh, he's a shooter, that's all he is. But no, he will do the dirty work as well. So as far as defensively, his stats, that is not stupid impressive, but he had a few games that stand out in which he got quite a few steals here and there. And we'll talk about that as well. All right, so that's the stats. That you can see it here. Shooting really good. I mean, there's not much else to say there. So let me go ahead and give you my overall thoughts about him. So I'm going to go through all the pros, okay, just from what I've seen and what I really like from his game. So first and foremost, catch and shoot shooting, as far as like when, you know, a player gets him or his teammate gets him open or whatnot, he is really effective on catch and shoot. But not only that, one thing that makes him stand out, and I think this is probably more so the selling point on why he is going so high, at least in mock drafts, is his pull-up game. He has a really nice pull-up game in which a lot of those shooters, you know, when people talk about 3-point specialists, yeah, they can catch and shoot, but they can't necessarily like do anything once the ball's in their hands. But that is not the case with him. He's good going to his left. He's good going to his right. He's good pulling up. He has a nice little floater as well. As far as off ball, he reminds me, I mean, I'm not saying he is this player, obviously. Okay, I'm going to calm down. But he does remind me of Steph Curry in that he's really good at going around screens off ball. And he gets a lot of attention, a lot of scoring gravity when it comes to him. And that alone, and I think that that's one thing about Steph Curry that's like really underrated, is the fact that he gets players open without the ball in his hands. And that's what makes the Warriors so special. And it's the same thing, at least with Gradey Dick in college, in which is a lot of attention going towards him, and you cannot leave him open. You can't give him too much space, and he's getting doubled off ball at times. So it's stupid impressive his part, and he's really good at maneuvering around screens. So offensively is there. As far as like getting players open or playmaking or anything like that, doesn't have a ton of that, but he does have high enough basketball IQ that when he gets doubled, he makes the right pass. Another thing too that I noticed, and you know, getting off offense, you know, if you heard anything about him, and from what I said, yes, good 3-point, really good 3-point shooter. Okay, great 3-point shooter, great pull-up game, good floater. That's all you have to say there. As far as defense, he can get in the lanes because of his length. So if the opportunity presents itself, he can get a steal on you in the lanes. Now, here's the thing. All right, those are all my pros. Going into the flaws here, okay? Because there's some that's pretty apparent. He has the same issue that a lot of guys that are considered 3-point specialists have, and that his on-ball defense just isn't that good. And also, and not saying that this is, you know, a huge deal or anything like that, but I will say this, he is not very athletic whatsoever. Now, obviously, athlete standards or whatever, you know, or average guy standards, yeah, he's super athletic. But when it comes to the NBA, no, he's not very athletic. So that's one thing that's probably going to hinder him, and that's one thing that scares me as well, because his off-ball, like I said, his on-ball defense is not that great. And then when you know, add in the fact that his ability, his athletic ability, isn't necessarily there 100%. I can't even really say with a straight face that he has the tools to be a really great defender. He can improve his defense, but I wouldn't see him, you know, locking anybody down or anything like that. So defense isn't necessarily there. Passing ability isn't great necessarily. So that's something to kind of point out. But offensively, I really like him a ton. Another thing too, just as far as like his demeanor and how he is on the court, he seems very intense, and that's really good. He definitely has a swagger to him, and you want that in a shooter, because there's going to be times where he does get in a slump, and, you know, going into the NBA is a whole different ball game. So he's going to have those games. He's going to have those spans in his career where it's just not falling, but his attitude is so good. I've seen it in interviews, and you can see it in games. He is pretty intense. Okay. He has a swagger to him, and that's what you want. Kind of reminds me in a way, and I know that this might, I mean, some people might disagree with this, but in a way reminds me of Austin Reeves just a little bit, just with his demeanor, and how, you know, even though the athletic ability isn't 120% there, he got swagger to him. Okay. He does not care. He thinks he's the best player on the court of all time, or at all times. Sorry. And that's a really good sign. All right. So those are my thoughts on him overall. So let's go ahead and see what NBA Scouting Live has to say. Once again, I have not seen this. So yeah. All right. So pros: very good shooter, especially from deep. Yes. Adequate scorer off the dribble. Yes. Excels at scoring on off-ball motion plays. Yes. Decent playmaker. I don't know whether he's okay. Like I said, when he gets double, he'll find the open guy. Moves well off the ball on offense. Yes, very well. That's why I was saying reminds me of Steph Curry, and not as good as Steph, obviously. Okay, let's calm down. But yeah, it reminds me of Steph a little bit. Solid rebounder for his size. We already talked about that. Adequate defender. Yeah, that's a good word. Solid athlete. Solid motor. Yes, really good motor. I think that comes in with his attitude and how he approached the game, and he's not afraid to do the dirty work. That's one thing that separates him from your average 3-point specialist, your sniper. But yes, he cons. Streaky shooter. There was a few games here where he seemed a little streaky. Yeah, I mean, his last game was 3 for 9. He had a 3 for 11 in here. 0 for 7, not great. 4 for 11. But like I said, he does a lot of different things as well, so he doesn't have to just lean on that. But yeah, anyways, let's see. Can display spotty shot selection. I don't know. I haven't seen that a lot, but can struggle to score in traffic. Okay, I'll take their word for it on that. Can struggle to guard quicker players. Yeah, that's where the defense is. On-ball defense is just, it really scares me, because he doesn't really have the athletic ability to keep up with those guys. So I don't know. He's trying, but I don't know. Must get stronger. Sure, that goes for almost anybody. So yes, Gradey Dick is an agile, skilled swingman that can shoot and pass the ball. He will need to improve his finishing ability and shot selection, but he is a skilled offensive player that could end up going in the first round of the 2023 draft. He's going to go in the first round. So and right now, as it stands, a lot of people have him in the lottery. So we'll see where he lands. But yeah, I really like this player a lot, like really. And, you know, as far as like where he's going to land, I wouldn't necessarily I've seen a lot of people put him over like Cam Whitmore. I would not do that. I think that's a little short-sighted. Like I do like his shooting. I like his pull-up game. I like his attitude, but Cam just has more in his bag, I think, than Grady. But you know, if someone puts him at 8, 9, I don't think I'm too angry with it right now. So, but anyways, I'll give it to you guys later. If you want to support the channel, clanthemerchfan.com, link in the description for some merch, or become a Patreon YouTube member, only $2 a month. Thanks guys for all the love. Until next time, bye.